Logging into a massive platform for the first time can feel like staring at a blank canvas, but the goal is to turn that empty interface into a smoothly running, highly efficient querying environment. In this module, we will map out navigation menus, organize a workspace for your code, and run your very first query. Before we begin, ensure you have your active login credentials ready and your sample SQL file saved directly to your local machine. Learning how to navigate this environment is the necessary first step to removing the friction between raw information and actionable intelligence. When you log in, you start at the home screen. Notice the immediate access to quick actions at the top and your recently viewed items right below it. In the lower left corner, you will find the user menu. This is your access point for tracking your active roles and accessing core profile settings. Clicking into the settings panel reveals your profile interface. Here, you verify credentials and establish baseline preferences. For long sessions, you can navigate into the Appearance tab and switch the user interface to dark mode to reduce visual fatigue. To maximize your central screen real estate, click the collapse icon. This shrinks the main navigation bar down to just its icons. Configuring your environment and eliminating visual clutter early on prevents cognitive overload when you begin analyzing datasets later. Step 1 for writing queries is finding your editor. Hover over Projects in the left navigation menu and select Workspaces. Think of Workspaces as a unified 5-part framework. It allows you to manage code, organize files, and explore your databases simultaneously. Zone 1 is your workspace hierarchy, where you manage folders and files. Right below it is Zone 2, which tracks your available worksheets. Moving downward, Zone 3 is the Database Explorer, your primary tool for locating data objects. The operational core sits on the right. Zone 4 is the central SQL editor for writing code, and below it, Zone 5 is the query history monitor. Knowing exactly where these 5 tools live turns a complex application into a highly organized, trackable investigation surface. To bring in our external data, click the Add New button at the top of your workspace and select Upload Files to pull your local SQL file. Once uploaded, check the Central SQL Editor zone. Your file will now be the active open tab, ready for execution. Before running any code, we have to define your session context. This is the set of environmental parameters that dictates how and where a query executes. It is the most common reason a query fails to run. Context requires 3 specific requirements to be satisfied. First, you need an identity, the user role that grants you permissions. Second, you need compute power, the virtual warehouse that provides the physical processing engine. Finally, you must provide a target location. You have to point the system to the exact database and schema where your data lives. Without defining these 3 parameters, even perfectly written SQL code cannot run. The system lacks both the authorization and the routing instructions needed to find your results. Let's apply this. Look to the top right corner of your SQL Editor tab and use the drop-down menus to assign your role, warehouse, database, and schema. With your configuration locked in, highlight the Select statement in your code editor and click Run. Watch the Query History pane at the bottom of the workspace. This monitor shows the exact processing status of your command in real time. Once the process finishes, the results table populates with the queried data, confirming the retrieval was successful. We retrieved data on the first try because we established our session context correctly. Disciplined setup at the start guarantees reliable execution at the end. You started with an empty interface. You navigated the menus, structured your workspace, uploaded code, and successfully pulled your first dataset. The next step is taking this static table of results and building dynamic, interactive visualizations natively inside the platform. But everything relies on the steps we just completed. Mastering this foundational architecture and session context provides the structure for advanced data operations.